there's absolutely no shortage of drama leading up to this game, in the history of this game, and that occurred in the midst of this game. But honestly, there's even some tidbits from post-game that I really want to bring to your guys' attention, and that's the primary purpose of this video. So before we get to it, guys, if you could take a moment and sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm, consider subscribing and turning on our notifications, because we've been on an uploading tear. I think we've been uploading twice a day for the past couple of days, save for today. And also check us out on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and all the other social medias in the description down below. Now that we got all that out of the way, break.
Well, other people that got a piece of happiness tonight were these fans here who know you so well, and it may be the last time you ever play a game here at Foxborough. Have you thought about that, and what does that mean?
I'll be part of this community for a long time, so, they'll see me around. I'll be here at games, and when it's all said and done and I retire, I'll be around, and they'll get a chance to, see more of me. But
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? As we were looking towards this New England Patriots versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers matchup, a lot of my friends came up to me and said that obviously the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to absolutely decimate the New England Patriots. But I was telling everyone leading up to this week that I think this game was going to be significantly closer than we all anticipated, primarily because Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are two individuals that I feel like they know each other fairly well. After all, Bill Belichick earlier this week made some accusations in regards to Tom Brady still using the same exact offense as he had when he was on New England.
You've gone against Bruce Arians' offenses in the past. How different does this one look schematically, philosophically, and does it bear Tom too?
Oh, totally. Yeah, 100%.
What stands out the most of it?
It's the offense he's run his whole career. Well, as it evolved here, it's pretty similar. You could call almost every play, from the flare control to the protection, similar to the way we do it.
We have an entire video on that, but honestly, my take on that entire accusation is, of course he's running the same exact offense he's ran his entire career, Bill. When he first got to Tampa Bay, the offense that Bruce Arians was trying to force Tom Brady to run wasn't necessarily working out for the team, which I'm assuming he had a meeting with Bruce Arians, and eventually they were able to add some plays that Tom Brady was comfortable with, add some pre-snap motion, and now you have a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that has already won a Super Bowl the year prior, but caught in the midst of this entire controversy. And I guess for this individual, it's kind of uncomfortable because his head coach is pretty much dealing with questions from the media all week long about his ex-QB.
Hey, Bill. You coached Tom Brady in practice for 20 years, but this is the first time you went ahead against him in a game. What was the experience like going?
We went against Tom Brady every day in practice defensively. So it's not like we've never seen Tom Brady before.
Was the experience of coaching against him in a game any different?
Yeah, they're a good football team. He's a great quarterback. I think that's all goes without saying.
Bill, just your thoughts on Mac Jones today, showing a lot of poise as a rookie back there. What are your thoughts on his performance today?
Well, we'll go look at the film. I thought our team played competitively, and Mac's certainly part of that. We can all play better and all learn from some of the things we could have done better. But Mac fought hard and made a lot of plays for us.
And I think it's very important that we take a moment and just acknowledge how brilliant this kid was tonight. I can't really show the footage because, Roger Goodell isn't a big fan of me showing NFL footage to you guys. But if you just looked at his statistics tonight, Mac Jones had quite possibly one of his most brilliant games in his entire career. Now, granted, I understand the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back unit was absolutely crippled. 3 of their starting cornerbacks were not playing. They were dealing with injuries in the middle of the game. And they even had a past his prime Richard Sherman, which everyone's acting like the Buccaneers just signed prime Richard Sherman, out there playing for the Buccaneers, which, by the way, I'm not taking anything away from Richard Sherman. I just don't think he's the same exact player as he was 7 years ago when he was going up to Tom Brady's ear and saying, "You mad, bro?" But in Mac Jones's case, the man literally had 40 pass attempts, completed 31 of them. That's a 77.5% completion percentage, but we'll round it up to a 78% for the kid. He threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, got sacked, had a passer rating of a 101.6, and he did it all while he was playing the defending Super Bowl champions on a Sunday night, and quite possibly the most overhyped game of his young NFL career, in the freaking rain. I mean, his wide receivers were dropping balls too. It wasn't an easy game by any means, and I just wanted to give props to Mac Jones. I think the New England Patriots got an absolute stud in this kid, and he absolutely crushed it. I mean, Tom Brady had 43 attempts, and he was only able to complete 22 of them for 269 yards, 51% completion percentage, and a passer rating of 70.8. So if you just want to take Tom Brady's statistics and compare it to Mac Jones's statistics just for tonight, statistically speaking, Mac Jones did outduel Tom Brady. Now, of course, there were other factors, and situationally things were a little out of whack. And no, this is not to say that Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Tom Brady, but he did have the better game tonight versus Tom Brady. Unfortunately, there were other factors in this game that kind of resulted in the New England Patriots not being able to close this one out. And the one that I think is surprising each and every one of us, at least the one that is surprising me the most, is the fact that the New England Patriots were driving with a minute left to go in the fourth, roughly a minute left to go in the fourth. And on 4th and 3, despite Mac Jones absolutely being on a tear, despite their offense being red hot, despite the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back unit being crippled, and their best player out there being a past his prime Richard Sherman that was literally signed 5 days earlier, for some reason on 4th and 3, they elected to have their half-injured kicker kick a 56-yard field goal, which, by the way, which would have tied his career high for longest kick ever in his career, in the freaking rain. And here's what baffles me the most, because I think Bill Belichick is one of the most brilliant defensive minds, and actually the most brilliant mind in the entire NFL. And I'll fight anyone that wants to take me on this, and let me know in the comment section down below who you would think currently in the NFL is a better coach than Bill Belichick, because this is the king of situational football, him and Tom Brady. For some reason, he decided to kick this field goal where the best case scenario would have been to put the New England Patriots up by 1 and give the ball back to Tom Brady with about 50 seconds left in the game, as opposed to going for it on 4th and 3, potentially milking the clock even more and giving his kicker, Nick Folk, a better chance of hitting that field goal. The only rational reason and the only explanation that I could come up in my head with the reasoning as to why Bill Belichick would do such a thing is either A, he's trying to rig the game for Tom Brady, or probably the more likely reason is he thought that his defense would be able to contain Tom Brady because Tom Brady was having a very difficult night out there. Like, say what you want about the man, he is, in my opinion, the greatest NFL player of all time. And if you disagree with that, the greatest QB of all time, but he was not playing like the greatest quarterback of all time or the greatest NFL player of all time tonight. And I think a huge part of that was a combination of nerves and a combination of just really bad weather conditions. Now, here's Bill Belichick's response to the entire situation.
You know, we had our chances and just could have done a couple things a little bit better. Might have been able to change the outcome, but we just, just fell a little bit short. So thought our team really prepared well this week. That's what we got to do every week, and coach a little bit better and make a few more plays and start winning these close games.
Oh, and yeah, by the way, they hugged. Yeah, this is apparently a big deal. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady hugged. You're going to see this one little clip on your TV at least 20 times from the period of watching this video all the way throughout the next 48 hours. So soak it up, bask in it, drop a like, subscribe, turn on our notifications if you enjoy the content. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.